tough game. Good team, but we didn't obviously play the way we're capable, and I got to play better. So bad throws. Bad throws. I just threw it to the wrong guy. So I had Mike open. Cost us a game. I got to not throw interceptions. That's the key.
Tom, last year you guys went into the bye week on a downturn and lost 3 out of 4 and were able to kind of use this time off to bounce back. Is there a key to this team doing the same and coming back different?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of fighters, so going in there, battle back, try to do better next week.
Or maybe the Saints just own Tom Brady, at least in the regular season.
Yeah.
You know, going into the year when Jameis Winston was named the starter, I remember saying that while the Bucs were my Super Bowl pick, I could see the Saints winning the NFC South. Speaking of the, you know, should have seen it coming, I could see the Saints coming. But I find myself asking, like, who the hell are these guys right now? I didn't see these Saints contending for the NFC South. This current iteration of the Saints contending for the NFC South. I mean, you want to talk about, you know, first of all, their defense is dome patrol-ish. Let's call it that. The defense is legit. They play defense on the Bayou.
Yeah.
We know about Alvin Kamara. But for Trevor Siemian, of all people, on the day of the backup quarterback, with apologies to Mike White and Cooper Rush, we've seen enough of Trevor Siemian to know that Trevor Siemian ain't good. For Trevor Siemian, not only to step in and pilot that team to victory over Tom Brady and his 4 touchdown passes but 3 turnovers, but not just pilot him to victory, throwing to Garrett Griffin, Kevin White, who hadn't caught a pass in 3 years, and Alex Arma, okay, is nothing short of mind-blowing that they were able to win this game. And in spite of Sean Payton at the end, you alluded to it earlier, throwing the ball and at the end and getting a field goal and leaving Tom Brady with 1:41 seconds and a timeout. But he must have knew that P.J. Williams was going to be right there to return a pick 6 against Tom Brady. So Sean Payton knew all along, just how we drew it up. Point being, man, it's just like I felt like Jameis Winston, who tore his ACL and damaged his MCL, Jameis Winston dancing in the locker room on crutches, that viral video that happened post-game, Jameis Winston dancing on crutches is symbolic because I could be sick for Jameis Winston. I know you're sick for Jameis Winston. We all thought this would be the year he got his career back on track. I'm sick for Jameis Winston, but I don't feel sorry for the Saints. I don't feel sorry for the Saints because they danced through it all. They counted it all joy. They're on their 3rd kicker. You're talking about finding kickers. They're on kicker number 3 this year.
Right.
All the injuries that they've had, here they sit at 5-2, figuring it out. Sean Payton's already like, I'm not going outside and getting a quarterback. You know, forget that. I'm going with Trevor Siemian, Taysom Hill. I also thought they'd be a 2-quarterback team. Didn't know it would happen this way. They're going to need Taysom Hill when he comes back. And it would not surprise me if Ian Book, who I liked a lot at Notre Dame, if Ian Book found his way on the field and held it down, given the supporting cast that's around him, maybe Michael Thomas ends up coming back, you know, sooner rather than later. But this is a tough football team, man. They're a tough team. They're well coached, and they're well managed. They're well general managed by Mickey Loomis. Where the hell are they finding these dudes? Kevin White. Oh my God, Kevin White. Like, who knew? You know, I feel like Charles Barkley. He's still in the league. Who he play for? Kevin White plays for the Saints. You know what I'm saying? You know,
who he played for.
Deontay Harris, Marquez Callaway. I mean, oh my God! Like, how the hell did they beat the Bucs? That's what they do down there in New Orleans.
Man, you talked about
what they do in the 504.
I did. 504. Shout out 504. You talked about them being well managed and well coached. They're also well read because on that defense, you got shout out Malcolm Jenkins, shout out Demario Davis, guys who can talk to you about Blitz Zero and restorative justice in the same conversation. So I'm all about those guys. And didn't we just say, Mike, didn't I say last week about the Saints? What I like about the Saints is the various ways with which they're able to win games. No, they had that game against Seattle was not pretty.
Right.
You know, Geno Smith is out there. Jameis Winston and they struggled, and it was a 3-point win for New Orleans. And how did that game end? That game ended like 4th down, and then Demario Davis almost came with the interception. A lot of pressure. Or Malcolm Jenkins, they were both involved. Malcolm Jenkins on 3rd down got a sack, and then on 4th down, on 4th and forever, Demario Davis made a play, almost had a pick. They can do a lot of different things. So I like this team a lot. And I think it's significant. They had the last couple of years, one of the great quarterbacks of all time, obviously, in Drew Brees. But the last couple of years, Drew Brees missed some time. Last year missed about 4 or 5 games. Year before that, missed some time.
Practice.
It wasn't just novel to them like, oh, what do we do now? Drew Brees is not here. The Saints are really good of bringing up guys that you haven't heard from, very little from, incorporating those guys into their system and getting some production out of them. So
they got a good locker room.
Tampa probably will win a division.
Yeah, especially with Jameis down.
Don't get too comfortable.
Yeah.
Don't get comfortable, though.
You cannot sleep on the Saints.
They're going to push you a little bit.
But again, thoughts go out to Jameis Winston. Really just felt for him. I can only imagine, despite the dancing in the locker room, I can only imagine the level of disappointment he must feel.